Hey, I'm Brian Van.
I'm Max Van.
And today we're going to break down MotoAmerica Round 6 Supersport at
Virginia International Raceway.
Yeah. Okay, kid, how do you feel about VIR?
I love Virginia. Out of all the tracks we go to in the calendar, and out of all the tracks in the country, it's probably one of my favorites out of the top 4, if not the favorite.
And you've always ridden well there. This is
Yeah.
your first time there on something bigger than a Ninja 400.
Yeah.
I feel like you really rode well all weekend. It was very apparent from the first laps. You had more fun, I think, at this round riding.
Than most all season, yeah.
Which was good to see.
Some decent dry finishes, and I got P10 in race 1 and P11 in race 2. I qualified in 11th overall, which was not too bad. But yeah, VIR is awesome. The fans are cool. The venue's beautiful.
Yeah,
a lot of green.
Love being there for sure.
Virginia's cool. Nice drive down there. So
one of the things that I like is, I don't get to see a lot of the racetrack. I get to see a lot of his motorcycle all weekend. I'm pretty familiar with that thing by now. But when you watch from the hot pit at VIR, you've got more to look at than just a stick straight straightaway.
Yeah.
This straightaway has a kink in it.
It turns right the whole time. Yeah, on a little bike on the 400, it kind of felt like maybe there was a tiny kink and tiny right-hander, but on the big bike, you come out of the last corner and the thing's straight up and down for maybe like 3 seconds, and then you're already heeling over on its side to get it pitch over for that little kink that they have there.
Yeah.
It's cool.
Some really close racing there.
You can pass at like 160.
You and Joe, it was a lot of fun to watch the two of you there in race 1 on Saturday. That one worked out to your advantage. Race 2 on Sunday, you ran as high as, I think, 8th?
Yeah, I ran as high as 8th.
And unfortunately, you came out with a short end of that stick. I don't know. We talked quite a bit about it. Maybe you should have tried to make moves earlier. I think you tried to wait a little bit too long.
Yeah, I sure did. It's all kind of a learning experience, you know what I mean? Like, I guess now that I've realized that when you're in a battle with someone, you should not wait until the last couple laps to make your way to the front. In Supersport, you should be up there ASAP, you know what I mean? Just in case, because somehow I finished in 11th frickin' place and we lapped 6 or 7 guys. How that makes sense, dude, I couldn't even tell you. But yeah, so like that kind of messed up the race, and honestly, towards the last 4 or 5 laps, I just played my cards like an idiot. It was stupid. You know what I mean? But again, it's all a learning experience, and I rode real fast. I had a good battle with...
You did a 27.9.
27, yeah.
And I think this might mark... Your memory's way better than mine. I know for sure this is the first time you've went faster in a race than you went in qualifying on the Supersport bike. That's a correct?
No, Road America I went faster in race 2.
Did you? Okay.
But Road America is a drafting track, so I had draft throughout the whole race, and VIR is kind of, drafting track for like maybe 10 seconds.
You qualified at a 28.2.
I did a 27.9.
27.9 in race 2. I was real pumped with that. You'd like to see the little bit higher finishes. When I look at it in a kind of a logical fashion, you want to win the battles that you're in. You didn't. You did that on Saturday. You failed to do that on Sunday. That's a bummer. Not a huge difference in finishing 8th or at the end of the day, but you just want to be at the front of that battle.
Yeah, for sure, all the time. And I guess I learned that the hard way this weekend. But I guess we have some knowledge, and now we're going into Mid Ohio here in 2 weeks, about a week now. To have some fun.
Yeah, that's going to be great.
Yeah. Mid Ohio is a local round for us. It's 3 hours. He used to ride there a lot when I was younger. Do I remember that?
Not quite as fast as you, dude.
No.
If I'm being honest.
His best lap time was a 33. Guess what my best lap time
Did you look it up?
I did a 28. Yeah.
Whatever.
You know what's also badass is I was looking from back in the day. This guy raced against Corey Alexander and Stefano Mesa probably when they were my age or younger. And now I am racing against Stefano Mesa and Corey Alexander. And he wasn't able to beat them, so now maybe we go to Mid Ohio or Coda, and maybe I'll be able to beat him.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe we'll change the fact of that. So we'll see.
Some interesting stories from VIR too. We've got a current reigning champion in the series, Matt Skoltz, that he gets in all these altercations with people out on the racetrack. Gets all mad, waving his arms, ripping ass in Parc Ferme. Did you get caught up in that?
I did, as did.
Did you catch an ass ripping?
I did catch an ass ripping. I got a what the fuck I think fucking idiot too. Sorry for swearing. For some people out there that don't like me swearing, but that's what I got. I got that. I checked up, and the S's are went a little slower, as did 4 other riders, and including me in a group.
At what part in the session?
I think it was in the very beginning. And here's how I look at it. You know what I mean? 9 times, there's a 99% chance that the points leader Matthew Skoltz, champion, is going to get pole that session, and you have 22 more minutes to set another pole lap. And what's the point of getting mad at a 19-year-old kid that's just trying to make his way in?
And coming over and calling you a fucking idiot.
Ride with some fast guys, but whatever, I get it.
Hey, it gives you something to look up to.
Gives me something to look up to.
Yeah. Way to go, Matt.
Thank you, sir.
And you weren't going slow. You weren't touring, that's for sure, because it actually got looked at.
And I moved out of the way. So.
But you're still a fucking idiot. So you got that going for you. I think you ripped Jake's ass too.
Yeah.
Jake Lewis's ass. I think
it's okay.
Jake thought that was funny.
Yeah.
Another funny story. I'll let you just tell this one.
Riding around with Tyler. My teammate flipped me off. It's cool. I got a photo of it too. I'm not going to show you guys that, but I'm going to frame it. Might send it to Tyler. Send it to Chris. Have some fun.
Yeah. I mean,
put some in the team rider lounge.
The common denominators here is you. Maybe you are doing stuff wrong.
Man, maybe I'm just...
Damn it.
Maybe
you're just way too slow.
Maybe I'm just that guy. Who knows? But yeah, VIR is a cool track. Precision Track Days, they're going there throughout the weekend. This weekend, actually,
Yep.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They're doing the full course, which looks absolutely insane.
It's a long lap.
Man, it's like 3 minutes. I played it in the video game. I don't know if I'd have the balls enough to do it in real life. I probably would, because it looks absolutely freaking sweet. And then they're doing South Course, which is smaller, and North Course, which is probably one of the best track layouts in the country. So check them out this weekend if you're down in Virginia or on the southeast coast.
Yeah, and also, while we're on Precision Track Days, we're going to be with Precision Track Days at NCM. It'll be your first time ever riding there. We're going to be there Labor Day weekend. Be there part of the day Friday. He'll ride all day Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
I think you're going to be doing some
coaching,
one-on-one coaching.
Friday and Saturday. So
yeah, man.
If you guys want to work on that, contact the guys over at Precision. See if you can get signed up with me and learn some stuff about riding basic and have some fun and learn the fundamentals. So.
When I look at your riding too, like your fundamentals are just so strong, dude. You're very consistent in your lap times. When you look at your data too, you're not one of those guys that just you're able to get your hair on fire for a lap or two. You're super consistent. You don't really miss a lot of apexes. You don't blow a lot of corners, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a great example for a younger rider to follow. You're not a big crasher.
No.
Because you don't learn a whole lot when you're weeding the bike.
No. I learned a lot of my riding from Josh Hayes, and it's cool to race with him this year a little bit more. And kind of in Q2, him and I rode together for the first half of the session, doing low 28 lap times and going fast in the Supersport.
Josh still rips, dude.
And man, like some of the shit he can do on a motorcycle, it blows my mind, with how basic and how stiff he rides. Him and I ride pretty similar, man, kind of straight up and down and lean off as little as possible. And yeah, he still got it, and I'm trying to learn from him, and I can pass that knowledge on to you guys. So.
And what was cool too there is while we're sitting there, we're in Parc Ferme after the Q2, and Max we were kind of debriefing a little bit, and he talked about the riding with Josh. Josh had coached him for a couple of years.
Yeah.
He's a great guy, right? Did a great job with him. Love being around Josh.
For sure.
Right? He told Max at the beginning of this year, he goes, just because I'm racing against you doesn't mean that I won't still help you. You know what I mean? So Max is sitting there talking. I'm like, dude, when he's done debriefing with his crew chief, just go over and talk to him.
Yeah.
And, to his word, you went over and talked to him, and he went over that entire section with you.
Yeah, asked him some questions. Yeah, because everything that Josh says to me, some of the things didn't make sense as a young kid, like a couple of years ago. But now actually riding with him and seeing him do it, like everything he told me, he's not lying at all. So, yeah, the old man.
One of the best.
The old man still got it. The old man.
He still got it.
Not wrong. So
he's still got it. You got a couple of rounds to go out there and try and get a little racy with him.
I do. I'd like to have a battle with Josh Hayes in the rain. That's my goal. Sometime this year, I'd like.
Let's have a battle with Josh Hayes in the dry.
In the dry, but I feel like for me, watching Josh Hayes race in the rain, it's like I can't even say iconic because he's a lot older than me and he many more years of racing. But even watching him win some Supersport races in
this year,
2022 and 2023 in the wet kind of gets me amped up because hopefully one day I'll be able to have some fun with him. So.
Yeah, 100%. And when it comes to, obviously dry or wet, but in the wet, he is very good.
Yeah, he's got the best lines, most consistent.
Like at Barber this year, where you got your best finish at P5, which was sick.
He was doing shit that other people couldn't do, and that's why he won the race.
Matt tried to do it.
Went
by him. How many corners did that last?
I think a corner and a half.
Yep.
So.
And ended up in the weeds.
Yeah. But of course, I just want to give a huge shout out to my dad. You worked your ass off all weekend. Thank you.
Happy to do it.
My mom, Chris and John Ulrich, my loving, supporting girlfriend for being out there. Jimmy Fox, Shiloh. She is Tyler's data technician. She is a badass woman, kicks ass, a lot of knowledge. Crew chief. Yeah. She's awesome.
I want to give her a shout out too because I've known her obviously for years at the track, right? Never spent a ton of time with her until being on the same team with her this year, and she has a lot of history working with Blake Davis and other riders through the N2 program and N2 racing. And, you don't really understand what somebody's capable of until you get to work with them and witness it.
One-on-one, yeah.
Dude, she is really good.
She's legit.
And even where, Blake, great rider. He's having a lot of success right now. He had a lot of success with her and the N2 team in the past. Because you've gotten to do a little bit with her.
Yeah.
She's Tyler's, crew chief, but we get a little bit of overflow there. Man, you can see, to race at this level and be in the front at Supersport.
Yeah, it takes a lot. There's a lot of pieces of the puzzle that go together. Now, everything she explained to me, because Blake Davis is probably one of the most smooth riders I've ever seen in my life. Whether it's wet or dry conditions, everything he does on the motorcycles, perfect, in my opinion. And the way she explained things to me, now I can see why Blake's so smooth, if that makes sense. So
I think she had a lot to do with it.
I'm not giving you guys any secrets, but yeah, she's awesome. So yeah, another huge shout out to Fahad Khan over at Precision Track Days. Guy named Kevin over there, you're awesome as well. Nate Phipps at Two Wheel Dyno Works, Suzuki, M4, Vision Wheel, Mission Foods, Tech Spec, Vortex, Hot Bodies Racing, RST, CD Boots and Helmet House, MotoAmerica's, my own glove company, Racer Gloves, and all you badass customers that have been supporting us throughout the past couple years. Not couple, 20.
20, yeah, this is your number 20,
couple decades of us being open. I appreciate you guys. So we'll finish.
Until next time.
Yeah, last 3 rounds strong. Have some fun.
Mid-Ohio.